Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rack and Rock Chronicles here on Carbon TV. And this week is no disappointment. So if you remember back to last week, we had Bethany and her husband James, the Biggses, down in Florida on their honeymoon, doing a little peacock bass fishing, checking out some alligators, checking out some iguanas. This time, they're headed back to their home state of Texas, and they're going to do a little hog hunting. So James makes a great second debut here on the show, and unfortunately, I think after checking out some of this footage, Bethany might have shot just a tad bit better than he did. So check this out: they're running suppressed 308s. They're hunting at night. They're running thermal. They're running thermal recorders. So we have a bunch of these shots on film through the thermal. They just did an awesome job collecting all this footage, and it was a great hunt. So a lot of pork, a lot of bacon. I'm not upset. So check it out, guys. We'll be back here in a minute.
We're here in Comanche, Texas. We're here at a good friend's house, and we are going to jump on the ATV tonight and do some thermal hog hunting. Talk about the two guns I'm using. I'm using an Armasight Zeus Thermal, and this is an Aero Precision AR pistol. It's got the brace, 11-inch barrel, and run it suppressed with the Surefire suppressor. I will tell you that the 308s suppressed like this are a little tricky to get the gas block right, but finally got it cycling. Hey, sweetheart. Got a photo bomb here. 308's great, has more knockdown, and the biggest problem is the follow-up shots on the hog hunting. It's a lot harder to get that second and third shot, but that first shot puts them down better. Bethany, my wife here, will be shooting a 14.5-inch BCM upper with the Daniel Defense lower, same Armasight Zeus, and it's a 5.56, so less recoil, cheaper to shoot, just a little less knockdown, and she'll be running a Surefire can as well. So we got a recorder that goes on these thermals, so hopefully we'll get a few tonight and get some good footage of giving some hogs dirt nap. Hey, Jason is actually sneaking up here. Check out that setup he's got. Oh, it's thermal.
Yeah. We sit on the top of the Ranger and we just scan. Then we'll get to a field and I kind of see some stuff in there, and I'll tell somebody to scope it out. We'll zoom in and we'll see if they're hogs or cows, deer. A lot of the cows are locked out of the fields tonight. So
sometimes those big hogs can look like a calf.
yeah, they do.
The stuff he goes through. Our chariot awaits.
The chariot of death.
The chariot of death. Here we go. So we'll sit back here and we'll scan and park and go out there and stock them.
It's better.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, that is light. That is much lighter.
Yeah, Grindle Hunter builds that upper.
Yeah.
And anyway.
See that?
Yeah, that's the Super Hogster. That is a good scope. I've used a lot of scopes and that one's good.
Feel the weight difference.
Oh, 308.
And this is 11-inch.
Wow.
I shortened it up so it wouldn't be as heavy.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah. I have lost a few. They're fine. Star Wars.
I don't know if I did. 4 down. That's awesome.
It's a big one, man. I'm telling you. Damn, I thought I saw one here. Yes, I got turned. I know we gotta walk towards the Big Dipper. Holy cow, I hope y'all got a damn good phone. I do.
I got it.
Look at them teeth.
That's a big one. Ooh, he's muddy.
That's a nice hog.
Good job, guys.
Heck yeah.
Here, baby. Yeah. Up down. Okay. Okay. There he is. There he is. There he is. Hang on. Be careful. I shoot. I got it recording. Okay, I'll tell you when. Can I count? 1, 3. 1. You ready? 1, 2.
Got him that time.
I see him. Got him.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
He went down.
There he is. Alright, let's go get him. Come on.
He's down.
Did I really shoot that many shots?
It looks like
Lord, maybe it was empty. Yes, sir, whenever you are. That's it.
Well, we tracked down the big boar. We saw it on the other side of the field when we pulled up. And it was beelining down this creek bed pretty good. And Jason here spotted it, and Bethany was using spotting scope. And it ran down the creek bed, it came back, and we basically came out here across this big open field and flanked it. And we're able to, which you'll see on video, able to shoot it on the count of 2.5. And
3/4.
2 3/4, Jason. And then we put a final shot as it took off, and we stopped it right here. How big is this boar? What do you think?
Maybe 250. 200, 250.
Yeah, it's good size. I sure wouldn't want to carry it out of here. Let's put it that way. It looks like the other pigs and buzzards will be eating good tomorrow.
Ooh,
That is a freaking monster.
how big you think he is?
I bet he's pushing 270.
Wow.
God, he stinks.
Yeah, he does. Whew. Wow.
I knew I got him.
Yep, need
So what were you just telling me about that recorder?
you need to put it on my gun so they can see some kill shots.
So why can't they still see any kill shots on my gun?
Because you can't shoot.
Wow.
Or your gun doesn't go off.
It gets jammed.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting blanks is what you're trying to say?
We need some wind. Yeah.
To an animal, no matter how hard you try, you stink. The human body continuously emits odors while hunting, and no amount of cover scents, soaps, or enzymes will change that. Instead of fighting your odor, eliminate the animal's ability to smell altogether with Scent Thief. Thanks to Scent Thief's patented no-smell technology, you can turn the wind into an advantage. With a 100% money-back guarantee, stop fighting your odor and make the wind your cover.
So this February, me and McKenna found out we were expecting, so we're really excited about it. We're going to be due in the middle of right in the middle of November, so hopefully we can get our deer before then. But regardless, we're both really excited, and we're just looking forward to having them here. So one of the things that I was wanting to do this summer, and we just finished it up this week, was be able to make a crib start to finish. And I was able to do this because my buddy has a sawmill, and we were able to actually start from an oak tree that had been down, actually a couple of oak trees from power companies that come in and cut some strips for power lines to come in. And you want to make sure that when you're starting out, if you're going to sawmill your own lumber for a crib or whatever your project is, you don't want to cut down a green tree and then build your project and then it get dried out and then you get gaps and just kind of weird things happen as it dries out. So you want to start with some lumber that's been down for 2 or 3 years, as long as it's a big enough piece that you still have good hardwood in the center of the log there. So anyways, we were able to start it from start to finish, and it was pretty fun. We got to go out there and pull out a couple of oak trees out of some big log piles. They're probably being a lot bigger than you think you would need starting out, kind of like cutting up a deer. You think you have a whole lot more there, but by the time you're done, you have a whole lot less. I mean, it's still good quality stuff, but when you get done, you think you're going to have way more than you really do. So we started out, we had 3 logs that were probably 2 foot or so, maybe give or take, in diameter, and probably 8 foot long, 9 foot long, that we drug out with the tractor. And so we had all that pulled out from the day before because we were expecting rain and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get in across the creek to pull those logs in after that rain came. So the next day when we started, we actually got pretty much the whole crib cut out from the logs all the way to put together in big panels for the crib in a day. It takes a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought it would probably be a day project of getting everything done, and we got most of it done in a day, but then the finish work really takes a long time too. So when you start out, and you guys will see this, but you have just a raw log that you pick up with the tractor and you're setting it down, and you got to map it out because the outsides of the board or of the log, you have a decent amount that's really just kind of soft wood that started to lose a lot of the strength that you should have if you want to have good solid lumber. So the outside couple inches, you got to cut those out, and then you'll see us with our square, and you just kind of map out the rest of the boards, whether you can get a 1x out of a piece of wood, or if you can get your 4xs. We use 4xs for the posts, a couple of 2x4s, stuff like that. So you got to get it all mapped out and then kind of figure out your game plan going forward. And because it's just our own sawmill of my buddies that we are using, it gives you a little bit more character because you're starting with a real tree that's got knots and stuff like that too that we just pulled out, and we're not real lumberjacks by any means. So there's probably a little bit of a learning curve on our end, but as you're going through, if you wanted a 2x4, you're cutting out 2 inches, but if it hits a hard spot like where there was a knot or something, that big band will start to float up or down to avoid that knot if it can, and that affects how deep your wood is. So you might have a 1/2 inch float on a big long board where it tapers down to something a little bit skinnier or thicker, which isn't really a big deal. Just for a simple crib, it's a really simple design that we use. It doesn't have any moving parts or swinging pieces really, except for the platform. You just move up and down through some pre-drilled holes and bolt it in. But other than that, it's just a square box pretty much. So it's really not that big of a deal, but you will notice whenever you're working with it that you'll have a 1/2 inch thicker or skinnier board on a couple of different boards. Most of them are right to what you want your dimensions to be. You have to remember it's not a 2x4 like what you get at Home Depot that's perfectly straight, but it has a little bit of flex to it, but it's a true 2 inches by 4 inches. There's no skimping in between. So when we were done, it ended up making a really heavy crib, probably over 300 pounds honestly, but hopefully it's something that'll be in the family for a long time and something that we can enjoy and get a lot of use out of. It was fun making it. There's a lot of learning curves, and a lot of interesting things and got to spend a lot of time with family and friends putting it together, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, from start to finish, we were just sawing it all down and mapping it all out, getting all of our lumber out, and then we didn't get a whole lot of footage of us putting the big panels together because we were all kind of working on it, and it made for a pretty long day. We started at 6:30 and we went until 9:30, finishing up in the dark. So we took like an hour for lunch, but other than that, we were busy all day trying to make it work just right. So by the time we were done, for the first day, we went from a log and we finished up with 4 big panels for that square that makes the crib. And then we spent probably a solid 8 or 10 hours after that sanding and sanding and putting on your polyurethane. So there's a lot of little stuff to it that you don't really think about taking a long time that does, but we were really excited with the way it turned out. Whenever we did some of the finish work, my wife was able to help me and kind of be a part of it as well. So it was really fun to do, and it's something that's sturdy, and I'm a little bit of a sentimental person anyway, so it's kind of fun for me to see something that we started out with and know the people that were involved, and to be able to know that we built it all the way up from scratch. So it was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy getting to watch us work on this project.
Derek's going to take the cones off. Levi's in the control center.
Okay, so we'll take it. You probably don't want this because it's starting to go. But like,
Take one bias from like here down.
yeah.
And then,
So the white part of the log is usually not your best. This heart here.
That's
is
what
we
you
wanna
want.
get.
Okay.
So if we look at this, we can probably get.
Well, let's take our tape measure here real quick, because I think if we put one 4x
In the middle.
out of the middle.
Once again, Levi, it's gonna be pretty great.
So guys, as you can tell, the hog hunt went awesome. Big thank you to James and Bethany's friend Jason for helping out. And obviously in the intro, I couldn't throw out the surprise about the second part of the episode. Derek and McKenna with baby Bayless on the way, and Derek and McKenna with some help putting that awesome crib together. That's going to be one lucky little boy when he's born. So congratulations, guys, once again on soon-to-be new parents, bringing on a new team member of Rack and Rod Chronicles. So we're excited about that as well. So guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned again next week. We're going to go back to doing a little fishing. And soon after that, we'll be back into the tree stands, shooting birds, you name it. Hunting season just right around the corner. Again, don't forget to vote for Best Bloopers, Rack and Rod Chronicles, for the Carbon TV Awards on the Carbon TV website. And make sure you're checking out our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Until next week, we'll see you later.